The death penalty officially off the table for alleged CEO killer Luigi Mangione after the judge dismissed the federal murder charge, even acknowledging that her ruling was, quote, absurd, saying, quote, the analysis contained in the balance of this opinion may strike the average person, and indeed many lawyers and judges, as tortured and strange, and the result may seem contrary to our intuitions about the criminal law. So let's bring in Fox News legal analyst Gregg Jarrett. And Gregg, this was a surprise to many. It seems nuanced what the judge did, but it has to do with this sort of underlying precedent. Explain to us how this occurred and why.
Well, the judge, Griff, tossed 2 of the 4 charges on the grounds that stalking is not really a crime of violence, and then said that the remaining charges without the first 2 are therefore not eligible for the death penalty under federal law. It is an odd ruling. And as you pointed out, even this Biden-appointed judge admitted that it was tortured and strange, and I totally agree with that. It makes no sense to me. However, I must say she did side with the prosecution, ruling that the evidence seized by police in Mangione's backpack, that's the alleged murder weapon, his journal laying out how he planned the assassination, all of that is admissible evidence. Well, of course it is. You know, when police arrest somebody, they don't need a warrant to look into that person's bag. It's called search incident to arrest. It's routine, and it is well accepted as an exception to the Fourth Amendment unreasonable search and seizure right.
Yeah, you know, Gregg, to your point about the evidence, the defense attorney for Mangione was asked about this. Here's what she said. Listen.
How much of a setback is it that the judge is going to allow the contents of the backpack at trial?
We're prepared and have been prepared to fight this case, and we look forward to fighting this case. So,
do you have any comment about the state trial happening at the same time or possibly earlier than the federal?
We're going to work that out with everybody. But we anticipate fighting these charges.
So she didn't really want to address the fact that there appears to be just a overwhelming amount of evidence in this.
Yeah, you know, I hesitate to call cases slam dunk, but now with this admissible evidence, you know, this is among the strongest cases you'll ever see. She deflected because, you know, you don't like to talk about your loss, but it was always a long shot. Defense lawyers always make the motions. They rarely succeed.
Hey, Gregg, let me turn gears here for a second, because we did see yesterday, obviously, the former CNN anchor, Don Lemon, being arrested. He's now going to be charged with, among other things, the FACE Act. How much trouble is he in?
Considerable trouble, Griff. I mean, the evidence shows that Don Lemon was not a mere observer just recording an illegal protest. He was an active, willing participant who embedded himself with the mob, joined their cause, harassing and tormenting frightened parishioners. And look, calling yourself a journalist, that's not a defense. A press card doesn't give you immunity. It is your behavior on the scene that counts, your words, your actions. And Lemon's own digital videos incriminate him. He admitted he had done reconnaissance with the agitators, attended their planning session, agreed to keep the attack secret. So when all of them stormed the church, there was Don Lemon joining them, committing a trespass and violating the FACE Act. I mean, he joined their cause, shoved a microphone in the face of the pastor, belligerently lectured him that the First Amendment allowed all of them to invade and disrupt the service, which shows a stunning level of ignorance by Don Lemon because, you know, by law, the right to protest does not extend to a church.
And, you know, Gregg, just quickly, I want to break down for our viewers so they understand the FACE Act. It was sponsored by Ted Kennedy and signed by Bill Clinton in the 90s. It protects clinics and churches from violence or threats, stopping someone from exercising their religious rights. A crime sentence for non-violent offenses ranges from 6 months to 3 years. A little bit of irony here that this law was passed when Democrats supported federal immigration law enforcement. Now, of course, Don Lemon facing a violation of the FACE Act. Gregg Jarrett, we've got to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Great insight.
Okay.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.